Hello, everybody. Hello, good night. How are you? How are you? Hello. I'm starting here tonight. Just a little bit nervous. I think it's natural, okay? And I'm going to start right now, okay? Today is January 26th of 2026, okay? My name is Fabiana. I'm here making this streaming, and I'm already nervous, and I lost exactly what I was supposed to say. But here we go. Uh, I brought this movie tonight because I was because of many things. First of all, it's one of the movies that I love, that is in the history of my life. Okay, it's one of the movies that I think that it's an amazing movie, and it's. Uh, just a moment, please. Okay, okay, let's go. And this movie, it was a time in my life also that was different from today. Okay, it was an epoch that we lived in a kind of world that will never going to live again. It was a time that internet was not a tool that everybody could use. Okay, at that time we watched this movie, me and my family, in another. Uh, uh, wow, I'm nervous. Okay, just a moment. We watched these movies. I cannot. I think I'm not going to. I think I'm not going to. Just a moment. Just a moment. Just a moment, okay, please. Just a moment. I'm really sorry. I think ok, tá, peraí. Era. I am trying to. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that now, please. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go. At the time, we didn't have internet, so we rent the movies on the blockbusters at the time. I don't know if you remember. Okay, so It was a different reality, and we had a different way to watch the movies. All the family was around the TV. We sit in our sofas and we watched the movie together. It was a different time, okay? And in Brazil specifically, I don't know. I think in United States things was different. You were, I think that you were already with internet or coming through a more to more people using internet than us here in Brazil. Okay, so we use it to watch rent the movie in the blockbusters and the stories that rental movies, and we watched with our families. Here in Brazil we didn't have yet. We were starting to buy many TVs to put one in another in each room of our houses. Okay, but almost the houses had one TV or two for everybody uses. Okay, so it was a very different epoch, if I can say that word. Okay, so it was and it make a kind of memory in our thoughts that we cannot forget, never and it was like not only to watch a movie together. It was just creating, we were creating a memory together, a memory of another memory, that was the history of the migration of the Jewish people and the Irish people to the USA. At the time, these migrants was coming to New York, okay, in Lower East Side, that they call it at the time. And this movie, it's a very beautiful movie because it starts on the 1920s and goes through 1960s, 60, and not in a straight timeline, but um, um, uh, it comes and go further and back to the past, and it's a history of two friends and their neighborhoods at the time, the poverty and the and how things were going on, while at the same time it was it was like a resistance from the government, like we can see today. Okay, not only part of the government, from the society that has been always very cruel. Cruel, it's not a word, I'm sorry. Society is very hard with people that came from another places, another countries, and how it's how this kind of feeling that was a feeling that not feeling is not words. I'm sorry. I'm gonna bring one much better now. Just a moment. Okay. How people at the time were marginalizing communities, okay, by thinking like we can see today, by the supremacists leadered by the dictator Donald Trump, okay, and And we when I remember that is the story of this movie because exactly because I don't know if it was by watching building this memory with my family that um, that it came to until today in this way, or because just because comparing the facts that we can watch the similarities with the things that's going on today. Okay, but the fact is that the situation from the that was rising from the poverty of this community specifically uh, framed during all of this time from the 1920s to the 1960s. um, how this framed this city around them, and how their own history, that was a history of two friends and their families, was erased by the rising of the official city that was built in the place of the old one, okay, of their old cities. And we see this in this beautiful movie. We see how Sergio Leone bring this with a lot of sensibility for us. That's in this beautiful history. Okay, so why I brought this movie today? Because I cannot help myself to make a parallel and and a comparison. Of course, it's not the same thing. We cannot compare in this kind of situation exactly, saying that it's exactly the same. It's not exactly the same, of course, but we can bring some pieces of this puzzle to uh, to study together how things when we forgot history can happen and keep happening again because of our ignorance. Okay, and this movie is highlights exactly these important times that happened in the US in the past of the USA, uh, and how this keep going uh, through 50 years, okay, until things starts to go through a better place that now it's not New York. Okay, why am I saying that? Because if you watch the movie, you can see that it talks about how the marginalized society uh, can how the people that were very poor at the time used the gangs and the mobs to rise in their own society. Okay, and how that frames all the neighborhoods at the time and all the city. And we watched in the movie. They started with the with gangs that was in the neighbor, but while the time is passing through, the action of that gangs at the time were rising and rising and rising, and they get into mobs. Okay, that mobs starts to uh, uh, influence all the political society at the time. Okay, because we are talking about a time that started in 1920. In 1930, there was they were uh, in 1920s, jazz was the music that was rising also with the society, we know. And a lei seca, gente, eu esqueci o nome. Peraí, just a moment, please. I know it's okay. Okay. The Great Depression. Yes. 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 Okay. Prohibition. They call it prohibition. Okay. The prohibition in 1933. That uh, that was the point that one whereas this mobs was profiting at the time in the sorry. Mhm. Just a minute. I'm losing my, yeah. It's because I am reading. I don't like to read. Okay, I'm sorry because I keep losing my concentration while I am reading. I prefer to talk, but today and yesterday I'm very nervous, so I'm losing my thoughts here. Just a moment. Okay, tá. Yes. Yeah. Yes, at the time, the communities, the options that these migrants had to have a better life was was getting into the gangs. Okay, they use it to the migrants use it to, or the men use it to act in gangs, and the woman. I'm sorry. I'm like, yes, the gangs drives smuggling liquor, and they use it as to make money, while they don't have jobs opportunities like the Native Americans. Okay, women at the time they dreamed with the theater and the migrant woman. Okay, the migrating woman, they have the chance going through to the theater and having an opportunity to have a better life. But while these gangs were rising to movement the economy, because this happens also, okay, because they were good in what they were doing. So they evolved to mobs, and these mobs, they could infiltrated in the union, the labor unions, okay, the labor union at the time. So they um, started to implode the systems by the inside, coming through the inside part, okay, from the inside of the labor union. So this kind of political strategy, it's not new for us, and it has this past that can prove this for that can prove what I'm saying, and shows exactly how things can go on when you lose the control of the society by marginalizing the communities, and do not implementing the public policies that you should have done at the time, with together with the migration people, okay, migrating people. So I brought this movie exactly for us to make this comparison with now that what's happening with the migrators. Oh, sorry, the migrants that are coming from the west side and the southern side of the USA. Uh, at the time, they were coming only through the east side. So these different shapes show how the movie exactly is, talks about exactly about this, and how things were erased by purpose, okay, they erased the history of the migration people, uh, building the official city, um, substituting their ancient neighborhood, okay. Yes, they call it tenements, okay? The old tenements, the past from the old tenement through the modern cities, okay? That we can see today. So, what is it is about? It's not about history. It's about the history that we cannot see anymore, because it was erased by the time. It's natural, okay, but it's not writing in the books also. So if we do not remember, if we do not drinking in another places, um, founds, we will never know what's exactly happened at that time, okay. And I think that education in the USA is having a giant deficit, okay. In the schools, I don't know how, and I don't know why people are forgetting what happened in the past, okay, and they are repeating it now with no like persons that like people that never had lived that before. Yeah, just that's almost how almost like it's never happens, okay. So we can make this comparison, not by saying that was exactly the same, of course not, but comparing how they used the labor union to manipulate the political frame at the time. Okay, I wish to highlight some facts uh, that's showing the movie. Okay, but yes, uh, in the 1930, the movie shows a dance of a girl that had an aspiration uh, an aspiration to dance in the theater, because this kind of aspiration, it was common between the immigrant communities. Okay, because it was a kind of um, uh, escape the normal routes that was not the to escape from the normal route that was the violence and etc that we see today also. Okay, that and we what why am I saying that? Because this kind of I'm not I don't know why I'm not quite good. This kind of thinking it's still right now. Okay, I don't like to say we because I'm not part of it at all, but normally, okay, people used to look to the migrant people with this kind of eyes. Okay, not good eyes, with this kind of situation that we are watching now in USA. Okay, this is I think that it's not only in USA. I think it's almost in all of parts of the world, because people have a kind of uh, and they used to not accept the migrating people with good eyes. Okay, the migratings are always the wrong side of history. They are all criminals. They are all they are always putting in this package, né? Yeah, and with I'm not being I think I'm not being clear enough, but I think if you watch the movie, you understand what I'm saying much better. Okay, then I can I that I can speak now. I'm very nervous. Yes, and we can see also that is another similarity is the political polarization, okay, that has happened at that time, and this kind of political polarization, how it deepens, okay, in the now with Donald Trump's presidents, okay, and at the time this polarization also were also deepened. It was also deepened, like we can see now for today. Okay, yes, and another point of similarity we can see there has been an increase in politically motivated violence, okay, protests and clashes, which some commentators compare to earlier periods of instability. Okay, Yes, okay. And another point is the populist rhetoric, okay, that Trump's used to do. This his style of politics and emphasizing a nationalism, outsider identity, creating this outsider identity with the migrants, okay, and confrontations that echoes dynamics seen in the times of the crisis in in the 30s, 1930. Yes, and the movies shows us how marginalized communities, corruptions, and violence shaped everyday life in 1930s. Okay, but what we can see now that it's not a kind of this kind of similarities that call us for attention because we now do not have these migrating people, these migrants, these migrants, beg your pardon, these migrants, they are spreading all over USA. They are not concentrated only in a neighborhood like it was at the time, okay, because things were different. We were not already in a globalized world, okay. We were coming through this what it is now, but in it was very it was in a very slowly speed, okay. So this migration were concentrating in neighborhoods. Okay, now we can see that migration spread it all over USA, and how the same feeling that was the same treatment that was given to that people at this time are now giving to all those people that are coming through a lot of different a lot of countries different countries, okay. But it's not a point of importance to be from different countries because like I told in another life here, it was about how the supremacists doesn't care about which nationality are you from, which country are you from. They don't care. They don't give a shit. They think that all those the migrants are the same, so they had to have the same treatment. Okay, that is the first of all. They are marginalizing all these people, and now they are spreading violence, okay, to justify every little crime that they saw. And we know that almost the crimes that happens in USA, it's not committed by migrating. I am sorry, I cannot pronounce that word. It's difficult for me. Okay. Okay. And I think that the dictator Donald Trump is doing this very well, and he is. And another thing that he is doing is to tell the world that the world is what the world is watching. It's not what the world is watching. Okay, what the world is watching, what he's what comes out from his mouth. Okay, our eyes are blinded by his words. Okay, the reality is not what we see. The reality is exactly what comes through his mouth. And we can back to George Orwell and the famous book. Okay, that now I forgot the name of the book also. Uh, just a moment. Okay. and 1982, né, 1980, 1982 from George Orwell. And I was watching a live today that they were talking about it. And all the time we keep watching that everybody is bringing this book from now on the social media to make this kind of comparison. And I think that it will be very good also that we could spread this movie for the most people that we can, because it's a history of the migration in the USA, and this kind of history it's not showing in our books. Okay, I didn't read in any book here in the I mean, in the school books, in the academy books, maybe, but not like the we can see in the movie. Okay, that is showing in a very beautiful way. Okay, and a dedicated history and 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 I'm sorry because keep popping messages here. Maybe I get more nervous than ever. But I think that's a very good movie for us to teach to watch with our children, okay, and with our young people. Because this kind of history, this kind of memory that we created at the time that we don't have internet, uh, we are not creating anymore, or maybe just a few times. But well, now everybody have a notebook or a desktop or a cell phone, so we don't have more this kind of configuration, a familiar configuration to create this kind of memory. And so I think that we are losing this potential to create a better kind of memory, okay? Because uh, while we are watching the movies alone, everybody having a notebook or a desktop or a mobile, we are not creating this kind of memory. It's a rupture with the past. Okay, it's like the official cities, the modern cities that erased the tenements in New York, that we are doing also tomorrow today with technology, with the modern technology. We are erasing the past, okay? And the young people and our children will never have this anymore, unless that we bring this for them and now, okay, while we have time. Because the only way for us to not erase the history is keeping the memory alive, okay? And we are not going to do that in this catastrophic world, leadered by this dictator that is erasing our our own memories, our own vision. He is keeping now these methods is putting it's being put in practice in the real time. Okay, we don't need to erase the past, building a modern city anymore. Just we just have to control the media and say that what we are that people are watching are not what they are watching. Okay, he keeps doing this all the time, not only him but all of his followers, and they are using this like a method, because who control the language control the power. Okay, it's natural. Okay, it's like he controls the media. He is a reality show. Uh, 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 he used to let me see the words. I'm sorry. He was a presenter of reality shows, and he knows how to do this, and he knows very well. Okay, and he's doing with a kind of mastery that we can say that he's. He probably he will do everything that he wants because the world is accepting. Okay, in Davos, for example, no one goes out when he started to speak. He keeps speaking for 1 hour and 15 minutes, and nobody goes out, or nobody told anything, nobody screamed, and nothing. Everybody keeps listening and listening and listening, and this is the way how he is manipulating reality from all over the world, because his followers also are blinding. They are blind people. I don't know if they are blind or they keep blind because of they are obedient people. Okay, because of kinds of surveillance. I don't know what they are like kind of robotization. Okay, they're robotized by the system. I don't know what this phenomenon can be explained, how it can be explained in that way. Okay, we are in strange times. The reality is not a reality anymore. History is erased in front of our eyes, and so things keep going like it never happened in USA. Okay, it's almost like everybody in the USA are natives, and only the Latin American or the non-white people are outsiders, when we know that's not true. Okay, almost all the USA are known non-American born people. Okay, are all the USA or are made by people who came from the outside, and not because of it they are outsider. And they are outsider like the bad meaning of the word. Okay, they are all, of course, they are from the outside, but they are not outsiders. If you know, if I make me understandable. Okay, so I think that I will not continue with the life, because I'm very nervous, really nervous, because this movie brings me to a place that is place that I think I will never come back again. That it was a place with my family, and my daddy, my father, he loved that this movie, and we watched this together. And I'm sorry. And we watched this together, and he keeps talking while we are watching the movie. He keeps talking and giving his opinion of what he was of what we doesn't understand at the time. So it's a very common and good place to stay. And like I could never go back to this place again. I think that we will never going back to this ancient USA after Donald Trump. And remembering that this situation, this movie, um, cover 50 years from the history of the USA. Okay, not only but because what's happening in York at that time happens also in other places of the country. Okay, but of course the movie highlighted this situation only to shows us how history, when it's erased, keeps repeating and repeating with never stops. Okay, and I think that many of American people now doesn't know this movie. That doesn't have watched. Maybe they never have watched this movie. Okay, here in Brazil, I don't see these new generations that are growing up now talking about this movie. Okay, these kinds of movie also are being erased by the new medias, the new kind of medias that are erasing every cultural movements that we had in the past. Okay, because the young people now are keeping addicted in short movies and short texts. They don't read much, so much how we used to read. Our generation was my generation, and the olders are used to. We used to read a lot. Of course, the young people, we have a very young generation that studies a lot, but what we can see in the world, it's a tendency to not buy notebooks anymore. Okay, they are keeping satisfied only with a phone. This is very dangerous. This is not good at all. Here in Brazil, we had a lower tax of notebooks and desktops buyed from the 2024 for now. People are not buying not so much notebooks and desktops like we used to buy when internet rises here in Brazil. Okay, they are changing. These new generations are changing the notebooks and the desktops for the phones. It's very, I think it's not good for anybody. Okay, and it's not because of only because of economy or something else, because they still buying smart TVs. Okay, if the problem was money, no, no, we will never have 90% of the houses with smart TV. Okay, because smart TV can be substituted by a notebook. For example, myself, me, I don't have a smart TV, but I watch the TV in my notebook. Okay, these young people doesn't care about it anymore because they have the phone. So yeah, I already have a phone. I have internet, but I don't need a notebook, and they are not used to read or to consume a more complexity information. Okay, they are using they are being I'm sorry, let me see the word again. Yeah, they are getting used only to the phones, and with the information that is not good information. Okay, they are getting used with this kind of information that are ruled in the WhatsApp. This they are only they don't read. They are changing the books for PDFs that don't have the quality of the books. They are getting used to read only the reviews of the books. They don't read the books entirely. So these kinds of changing that are not that are magnating the system from inside out. Okay, this is a kind of implosion of the education all over the world, and it's being very promoted by the social medias and the digital platforms that do not always use to incentivize a kind of a critical thinking by consuming a better quality information. Of course, they don't want that, okay? Because of it, I was talking about another movie that was called the Father's Brainwash, okay? The Father's Brainwash. It's a real point that illustrated exactly what I'm saying. And the Father's Brainwash, this movie talk about only how the TV manipulates the mass, okay, and never talks about internet. So if it was dangerous only by the TV, we can imagine how these things are being amplified by the phones that it's most easy to you to watch this kind of information that uh, that doesn't have a critical natural intrinsic in this uh, in it. Okay, they don't have how to make this information for be a good how can I say that? I'm sorry, just a moment. Just drink my water. Okay, sorry. Okay, I don't think that only consuming this kind of information we can change a society that is sick. Okay, this is not a healthy society. People who murdered this man, like the ICE police have done with Alex Pretty, these kind of people are not healthily thinking anymore. I think they are not even thinking because they don't have how to think, because they don't have a critical formation, and so they don't have tools to think deeply in exactly what they are doing. They are doing just because they were ordered to do. Okay, somebody told them, "Oh, you have to kill, or you will." Uh, you will not be part of our government, okay, or you kill or you are out, okay, or you kill them or you are also an outsider, okay. And I was told in that I was in USA almost more than 20 years ago, and I remember then that I was in Arizona, and the man, me and my family was and in a how we say, I don't remember exactly if it was in a restaurant or something. We are eating in a place, a very nice place, okay? And there was a man. He was a supremacist, and he thought that because we are Brazilian, he thought we were Mexican. And I just remember that him saying like that. Oh, you can go the Mexican first, with a very ironic kind of way to say that. Okay, he was very ironic, and I thought at the time I didn't my English it was worse than ever. Okay, and I could understand, and I thought, wow, I never had lived that before, because here in Brazil we are white people, okay, and but being white people, we can never put us in the same way that the black people feels. Okay, we cannot say we cannot put us in that way. It's not a fair way to see the things. So in this moment, I realized that what I thought about us here, that we are all the same. Okay, but society doesn't look for us like that, even here in Brazil. But I understand exactly what black people feeling here in Brazil when they are marginalized just for being black. Okay, and that I brought this thought with me from the USA, but I thought that things will going through another way. I never thought that in all my life. I never thought that it will be the future of all of us, our future now. I thought this kind of thinking, it was ending in that times. Okay, it was supposed to end at the times, and I was very wrong about it, because things keeps going on, and getting worse and worse and worse. Okay, and I think I was told, I was talking about the wall that they want the dictator Donald Trump wants to build between Mexico and USA. And I told in another live, another stream that I make, I don't know, it's last week, uh, that they doesn't need the wall for nothing, because the wall, it's only a Nazi propaganda. Okay, because we have technology enough today to do the same thing that the wall could have done, with much more and even with much more precision. Okay, like the seismic sensors that we have today. And this kind of sensors, they can differentiate if it's a cow or is a man passing through some place. Okay, and having this kind of technology, while he never talk about it, knowing that it's much more efficient than a wall, because of course the wall is a giant propaganda that the sensors will never could be capable to do. Okay, of course they maybe probably they are using both of these shows, and much more than with drones and everything. But people don't see the drones all the time. You cannot keep watching through the sky. Okay, so you cannot only make this kind of propaganda with drones. Okay, you need a wall, like a China wall, the giant China wall. Okay, to make this propaganda, and this propaganda make his it's a kind of it's a way to make the dictator Donald Trump present at in that place at that time, and through all these years that he wanted to keep this kind of regime on the all from all in all of the USA. Okay, oh, I don't know if I have much more points to talk about. I think I will end here. Okay, I'm not liking these streamings that I'm making these days. I'm very nervous. I think it's because of what's happening. Okay, of the ICE police. This shocked me a lot. I didn't thought that I was. I didn't thought that things will keep keep happening. I thought it was even I know it's not a localized problem like we have here, the violence in Rio de Janeiro, São Paulo. I thought things in USA will keep going through another way. I thought that the opposition of Donald Trump would be stronger than we are watching now. Okay, I don't know if you are afraid. I think that of course that you are afraid. Here we are. Okay, we are worried about the situation. Of course, that you are much more worried than us, and have to be because it will not stop now. Like in the movie, like I was saying in the movie, the situation, okay, of them, of the people of this, the last, the yeah, the yeah, of the New York, of this neighbor that I forgot the east side, the lower east side, the people from the lower east side. This situation keeps going through 50 years. Okay, 50 years. That was the history of the neighborhood, and it became. It starts with the with migrating and getting into the in USA to the erased history of their own history, of the erase of their own history by the modern city that was built in the Lower East Side. Okay, that was built um, uh, up now I can say up the Lower East Side. Okay, but the fact is that when you raise memory like by building modern things and forgetting the past, we will keep repeating this without stop. Okay, and that's exactly what is happening through the phones. Okay, through the phones, when the phone when you watch a movie, a short movie, I never saw in my, I don't know if it exists, but you can think with me right now. Have you, do you know somebody that watched Once Upon a Time in America in his phone? Do you know someone that watched this movie, this entire movie through a mobile phone? Do you know someone that make this hard like it was a sacrifice to watch this great movie, né? But in a mobile phone, it's a difficult task to do. Okay, to make. We don't watch a 2 hours movie in the mobile phone. Nobody do that. Okay, so when we substitute the notebook and the desktop with your phone, you know that this generation that only consume the information through the phone will never be capable to watch a kind of like this incompletely. Okay, only one or two persons will do, people will do that. Okay, but almost the people will never do this kind of task. Okay, even if it's the best movie in the world, people are not used to watch to watch a movie, a 2 hours movie in their own mobile phones. So this kind of behave is spreading through all over the people are taking their own culture into the trash when they substitute their own when we substitute our own culture for the culture that we consume only in the mobile phone. Okay, here in Brazil we have this we have these statistics in the IBGE site. Okay, IBGE is the statistic institute here in Brazil. Okay, so you can make a research about this what I'm talking about now, and you will see that people doesn't are not buying so many notebooks and desktops, but they still buying smart TVs. And the detail that's important is that almost all Brazilian people have a cell phone. Okay, because we have 250 million cell phones, while our population it's about 120 million people. So we have more than one cell phone per person. Okay, it's explain exactly what I'm saying now. But only 30%, 30 to 40%, no, 30 to 45% of the people has I beg your pardon, have notebooks and desktops, and this keep lowing down while the time is passing through. People are substituting the notebooks and the desktops for their phones. And this is not only a tool substitution, okay? It's a kind of way to watch the world or to doesn't watch the world, okay? Or to you choose, you can choose. You can see the world through a better window that could be the notebooks and the desktops with a better information going through, or you can keep blinding only only buying the information that can pass through the phone. That's not complete information. That's not a kind of good way of informed. Okay, you will only watch the news of the day. Probably you will be tired to watch an entire news program or something else. Okay, but I bet with you that no one in the world watched Once Upon a Time in America entirely in the mobile phone. I never saw someone that told me, Fabiana, I watched the entire movie, a 2 hours movie on my mobile. I do not believe that a person will watch 2 hour or 3 hour movies in a mobile. Or probably this movie, if this person do that, I will give my congrats to for her, because it's a hard task to do. Okay, you the mobile this format and the frame, it's not. I think that is it was made like that uh, just already to make this kind of manipulation going faster and faster for all over the world. Okay, I don't think it was I don't think it was with no purpose. Okay, I don't think that this kind of mass manipulation is without purpose. I don't believe in it. Okay, I do not believe in it, because internet was built by the USA Army. Okay, so we can say that this was army tools. Okay, we don't have only bombs or machine guns or drones. I think the most dangerous guns that we have today, it's in our pockets. It's in our purses, and they are called mobile phones. Okay, and also the desktops and the notebook can do the same thing if we don't have a critical society that is capable to choose for themselves their own information, their quality, good quality information to consume. Okay, and telling that I will say goodbye for now. Okay, I think I make myself understandable, but this is it's a hard task for me. Okay, I'm getting used to make the lives in English. I beg your pardon, but I will keep practicing and practicing, because someone told me if I want to get through the Carnegie Hall, I have to practice and practice and practice. Okay, I'm joking, but I will keep here and I will stand for me, for you, and for democracy. And remembering you that before you stand for everyone, whoever you stand by, you have to stand by yourself first. Okay, because if you do not stand by yourself first, you will never be capable to stand by anyone. Okay, so I'm here to stand by you, stand by me, and stand by and for democracy. Okay, and I'm sorry about my English. I promise that I will keep studying and studying for a better communication with you. Okay, I hope that I make myself understandable in a little. It will be, it's 1%, it's understandable. I am happy, I'm already happy. Okay, so watch, you can keep watching these movies, Once Upon a Time in America, and The Father's Brainwash. Okay, you have to see that, you have to spread this for all over the world. It's necessary now. And because the situation probably will stand for many years, like we watch in Once Upon a Time in America. And I think that now it's twice upon a time in America. Okay, and I make a joke putting the same title here in Brazil. Was once the title of the life Once Upon a Time in South America, because here in Brazil, I don't know if you can believe in that, but people here think like Donald Trump. Okay, like they will be like Donald Trump will love them just because of their support. Okay, their political support, or something like that. I think they don't doesn't understand what kind of word that they are stepping now. Okay, I will end here now. It's real, and if you have some question, you can let here in the commentaries, okay, of the video. This video will stay my channel. I will not turn off. Okay, yeah, I will keep bringing more and more information if I am capable to do that. Okay, but I will keep standing here. And thank you very much. If you want to help me, you can subscribe to my channel. And next month, I think I will be much better than now. Okay, I'm sorry about if something gets wrong, or or that's all, guys. And I will let this live, okay, for today. And maybe I can come back tomorrow for more notice. It depends what is going on here. Okay, I don't know exactly the day that I will be back, but while I put that in English, I will make the stream in English. Okay, if it is in Portuguese, the streaming in Portuguese, just for you to know. Okay, so I thank you very much, and subscribe here to my channel. Okay, see you soon as possible. See you as soon as possible. Thank you very much.